Hi guys, you're back with Jay again. Where we left off was with the corner missing from this bad boy. Mine isn't textured. I didn't save the texture. Hopefully you would have saved the texture. I didn't. I'm not truly interested in keeping this model. This is just for tutorial purposes only. So yeah, yours will look something like that, and it'll be textured nicely with the corner missing. Now, as I said in the previous video, I did say I was originally going to give this some minor damage, so to add to this corner, maybe take a chunk out of the middle here, and maybe take this foot off, or wherever. I'm not going to do minor damage, because I don't want to tell you guys what to do with this. This is obviously your starting blocks, as it were, to the world of modelling. So what I'm going to do is show you how to move from just destroying this corner into taking a good chunk of this off, so it's just completely gone, it's just wrecked. So let's just get down to it. I don't need this window open. We're not texturing in this tutorial. We are just literally gonna take this entire chunk off. And before I forget, screencast yes. So just to run over a couple of quick basics before. To maximize the window you're in, make sure your cursor's in the window, and then shift space. As you can see down here, it's shift space. So with this model as it is, what we're going to do is we're going to press 1 on the numpad. We don't need these background images anymore. We can press N to bring up these this properties panel here, and underneath background images, just uncheck that little checkbox. We don't need them on. So N to make that panel disappear again. So we're going to be wanting to do this in solid mode, which is just this little ball down here. Your viewport shading, just solid. It's just going to be easier. Make sure your model is selected and press tab to go into edit mode. This is where the fun bit starts. If you press these two little boxes down here, it means instead of pressing Z or Z to go into wireframe mode, you can stay in solid shading, but you can see through it. How clever is that? I use this more often than wireframe. It just gives I don't know, just slightly easier to see which way your normals are pointing and such. So anyway, so 1 to go into front view, then I'm going to press B to do a box select and just get rid of that. Do I want to get rid of that? I want to make, what I'm trying to do here is I want to make this look as destroyed as possible. So we're probably going to be taking it from this center point here down in an arc. So it's like that entire top bit is just missing. Something's completely smashed that up. Now with design like this, to make it look more believable, rather than just taking chunks off, you want to sort of decide, why is it damaged? What's damaged it? Was it a rocket? Was it an RPG that's just come in and obliterated this side off? Was it an enormous vehicle that's just come and just crushed that side? And this will sort of guide you into how to actually destroy this thing. Now, again, that goes down to your artistic, let's just call it poetic, I don't know. It's just up to you, really. But for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just going to take it off, going down a diagonal line. Just take that corner bit off. So what I'm going to do here is make sure you've got that bit selected. Okay, cool. So again, in the purposes of saving the texture as much as possible, because we don't really fancy texturing all of this again, it's just time consuming, can't be bothered. We've already got a decent enough texture there, it looks good, can't be bothered doing it again. So again with the loop cut, so it's Control R, I'm going to take it from that corner there. So I put in 2 loop cuts, left mouse button to say we're going to choose 2 loop cuts, and then right mouse button just to make them snap perfectly in the middle. Okay, and then I'm going to be coming down here. So I'm going to want to put in a loop cut about there. That top purple one is the one I want. So again, right mouse button, and then there we go, that's unselected. So I'm going to be coming down here, down there, and then over here. So what we need to do now is use the knife tool. Now knife is hotkey K. This little thing pops up here. So I'm going to take it from the top. No, I'm going to take it from there. Just literally click once, and then I'm going to go to this next vertex. It'll snap to the vertex, and just left mouse click once, left mouse click again, again, and again, and onto that corner there. The middle mouse button just around here. I don't want all of this corner to be completely gone, so I'm gonna take it up to this loop cut here, this vertice here, or vertex, sorry. Vertex if it's single, vertice if it's plural. So if you want to see the exact back of it, to see where your original loop, your original knife cuts were just there, you press Control 1. Oh, you can't press Control 1 in knife cut mode. That's fun. So anyway, let's just improvise. So let's put it there, there. I'm going to put one there, there, and there. I don't need to join those up because they're on the same thing. They're on the same loop cut. So to finish the cut, all you need to do is just press enter. And there we go, we've just added a cut. Now, I shouldn't really be in texture mode, sorry. Solid mode, and then you can see what's going on. So all that's done is just added in a sort of bespoke loop cut, if you will. Okay, so we can basically cut this whole section off. So if we press 1 to go into front facing mode, and then C to let's just make sure that isn't selected. The loop cut we just created, make sure it isn't selected. Just hit a random vertice there. C, and just highlight all the vertices that are on the outside edge of these. So that one there, that one, those two. We can say goodbye to those things. That one. And we'll have to go in and tidy this up a little bit. Right click to get out of circle select, and then just simply press X, delete vertices. And we're left with this monstrosity. So as you can see, it's left these triangles jutting out, which obviously we don't want, so we just click and select the very, very end vertices. X, delete the vertices there. It's left that one, we don't want that one. X, vertice, see you later. It's left that one, we don't want that one. X, vertices, see you later. What are we going to do with this section here? That's a very interesting section. What I'm going to do with that section is circle select and just essentially get rid of it all. X vertices, yep. Oh, did I want to? I don't want to get rid of that one. X vertices. And then what I want to do is sort of E to extrude along the y-axis, and then select both of those and press, select all 4 of those and press F, and it'll create a face, which is always good. Select that vertex, E to extrude along the x-axis, yeah, and then select and create a face. Go into side view. These vertices aren't lining up very well, but I don't care. G, just to slide that vertex along there, and G, slide that vertex along there as well. So what we're going to do here is create this missing face in here, just to create the bottom section. All I'm doing here is just replacing this corner. Do I want to replace it nicely? I don't know. I don't think so. No, actually, because I'm going to get rid of that one and that one anyway. So X vertices. But I do want something there. So X vertices and drag that one down. Sorry, this tutorial isn't going to be as easy to follow as the others because my cuts are going to be ever so slightly different to yours. Don't worry if what I'm doing is different to you. It's bound to be. This is just literally a case of just literally dragging vertices around to sort of make this look destroyed, if you will. All I'm doing here, taking this corner off, trying to keep it as symmetrical as well as keeping it non-symmetrical. It sounds a bit contradictory, but I will show you what I mean in a minute. All we're trying to do here is just replace a couple of faces. That face will do there. So, now the fun bit begins. Making sure that these faces line up. So if we start at the top, we will see... Okay, I'm going to turn this view off now so I can actually see the different way the faces are. So what I'm going to do is click... Sorry, I've gone into edge select there. That's Control Tab, just edge select or edge select there. I've selected this edge here. I'm going to select that one and press F. That one. Oh, interesting. That is interesting. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is go into vertex select mode, select those two, Alt and M. So that's Alt and M. This brings up the merge. And I'm going to hit at the last one I selected, merge there please, and it's done that for me. Wonderful. Back into edge select, select that one and press F, and it'll create a face for me there. And then, wonderful, we've got that little one there and that little one there, F. Okay, that one and that, oh, that's going to be a strange one, isn't it? Okay, vertex select, that one, Alt and M to merge, and then at the last one I selected again, which is fine. Alt and M, last one I selected, that will just tidy that up. You'll see why in a minute. Back into edge select, select that one and that one, F. Wow, that's peculiar. Okay. So, vertex select again, that one and that one, Alt and M, and the last one, that one and that one, Alt and M, merge at the last point. Wonderful. So as you can see, this is looking rather strange. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. Should have really practiced this tutorial before I came on to do it, but hey ho, ever the professional. Select those two and F. That's created that wonderful little section there. Okay, you'll see I didn't start at the top like I said I was going to, and I will show you why now. Select those two, select those two. Wonderful, but you'll see I've got a stray vertex here, or a stray cut, should I say. Have I got a stray one here? Yes, I do. There we go. So, we're going to use the knife tool again. This is good because it will give us more geometry to play with. So, K to bring up the knife tool. Make sure it's snapped to... Make sure you're in vertex select mode. Snap to that vertex there. And then we can sort of manipulate... Oh, hello? What happened there? Click, click, click. All I'm doing is just clicking at random places on these lines as I'm coming down. Because it's going to give us some chance, enter, some chance to literally lift these up to give us a bit of chance to sort of make it a bit bulgy, like bits of it are broken. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click that one and enter, only because if you see the way I was stretching that, it was making it go a bit strange. but now that it's got a line in the middle, it's got a chance to actually bend in the middle. So it won't look as... oh, deselect you. There we go. Just give us a point there, that's fine. Now again, like the corner, mine's going to look very different to yours. This is just a case of just moving the model around and just trying to make it look a bit smooth whilst looking destroyed. You don't want to make it too jaggedy. The texture will do that for you. Jaggedy is not a real word, Jay. Yeah, the texture will do a lot of the work for you. Just sort of try to create a sort of minor jagged silhouette, if you will. Oh, hello. I quite like that shape in there, actually. So yeah, sorry, all I'm doing is just selecting the individual vertices going down this center line here by right-clicking on them and then pressing G to move them out. And that's pretty much the destroyed version of it. Now, if we go into front view, tab out, so you go into object mode and go into texture mode. Hopefully, we haven't destroyed the texture too much. Oh, the texture's looking... yeah, texture's looking pretty good. So yeah, this hasn't stretched any at all, which is always nice. And yet we've still managed to cut this section out. So the white section is what's going to look destroyed. Now, as you can see, this will have a very sharp line here. We will be able to manipulate it slightly to make it slightly less jagged. So what do we want to do with that one? Oh, hello, you're a bit strange as it is. So, if we press G and X to make it run along the X-axis, about there, you'll see it's starting to stretch in here. Well, not stretch, but compress strangely here. So if you grab that one underneath it, and G along the X-axis, that will just help it ever so slightly. I'm not happy with how much it is stretching. That one looks a bit peculiar. Okay. However, like I said, the texture will save a lot of these sort of sharp lines. Okay. So, like I said, that is our barrier with the chunk missing. Something's really come in here. You could even pretend that an RPG has just come through, smashed off that entire side. However, that isn't us done. You'll see that these things, they don't just go in and stop. Well, on the model, obviously, they go in and stop. But in real life, these things will go in a long way, because these things have got to take the entire weight of this thing. And they're basically in there to support it as well. So, what we need to do, this is the easiest way to sort of keep your model as realistic looking as possible. What we're going to do is we're going to grab a loop from here. So what we need to do is hover over one of the loops and press Alt, hold Alt, and right click on there. So you've got a loop selected there. The only reason I've done that is so when we model the bars jutting out of here, we know it's the same dimension, same circumference as these. So it's not going to be, oh, but it's small over here and it's huge over there. We need to keep it as sort of fluid as possible. So with that ring selected, you press Shift and D, and that will duplicate the ring over here. Okay. So I'm going to go into top view for this, which is 7 on the numpad. And all I'm going to do is put this in there. Now that should be the same height as this, although it won't be because I wasn't in the right view. No, it's not at all. So I'm going to G and Z to bring that down. It's about there. 7 top view. Now it's not going to come out at a strange angle. It's going to come out about there-ish. Press Z to go back into solid view. And then it's just a case of extrude, and you'll see this wonderful bar jutting out. Now, it's not just going to jut out in a straight line, it's going to be bent, because this thing's taken an enormous hit. So, 7 top view. I don't want it to come out that much before it bends. I want it to come out there, rotate slightly, and extrude from there. Rotate slightly, and extrude from there. Rotate it. How's that one looking? It's looking alright. 1 to go into front view. Now this is where a proportional editing might come in handy. Let's give it a go. So we click this little discs thing down here. Proportional editing, click on connected, the hoop, none of the discs, the hoop. Click on that one. Now, when we press G, you'll see a circle appear. Anything within the circle will be affected by you moving it. So the smaller the circle, the less it affects. It gives you a bit more fluid sort of action. The more you go out, whee! So basically, we want the circle to sort of control that much. This will just give us the scope to sort of lift it up whilst keeping everything connected nicely. So yeah, that one's really buggered up. Okay, so these will obviously not be hollow tubes. Proportional editing still on. And then, just to cap that off, with it still selected, press F. It's that simple. Okay. Now, with it still selected, what we're going to do is top view, and again we're going to duplicate this ring here. Hang on. If we were to just duplicate that, we'd get the face as well, which is not what we want. So, go into Edge Select, and select that particular jobby there. Go back into Vertices Select. We didn't need to go into Edge Select, that was silly. Hey ho, this is recording on the fly. Yeah, so duplicate that by Shift D, put that somewhere inside the model. Okay, are we happy with that? Are we happy with that? Let's move that down there. Is it straight? No, it's not straight. We need to rotate that. Boop. And then, same thing as last time, E to extrude. Come out here, Mr. Thing. Let's rotate that. Like jobby. Rotate that. Rotate like that. Now this one I want a little dinky bit on the end, like it's really buggered. Sorry, it's just scroll wheel to change the proportional editing fall off. And then F to that one. Go into front view, that's coming out too straight, so should we bring this one down? Let's bring this one down. Ooh, that's stretched strangely. The other one didn't stretch. How peculiar. Ah well, let's give that a go again. And then just that bit. Is it because you're rotating ever so slightly? Let's just do that. And then increase the fall off. How peculiar. Doesn't like us doing that. I think it's because this angle here is too sharp. So if we go back into top view, like that. So let's rotate that jobby there, bring that down that way a bit. To be honest, it doesn't matter if it's not perfect, mainly because it's been hit by a rocket. It's going to be fucked up. Okay, how's that looking? It's looking alright. Quite like that, ish, maybe. I don't know. Let's have a look at textured. Ah, in textured you can see a couple of the normals aren't quite right on these. So hover over it and press L. L. Come down to your mesh. Normals. Recalculate outside. Okay. Let's go back into solid so we can actually see what's going on rather than white on white. My cooker is beeping. I'm just going to have to pause this a second. Okay, I'm back. My cooker was beeping. You don't want overcooked chicken. That's the last thing you want. So we've been going for 26 minutes so far. Let's speed this up. All we need to do is just get another one of those, because obviously there is 2 of these. Now in real life these things are probably filled with a grid mesh just to be super strong. All I'm going to do is go off the theory that these things run all the way through. So we're just going to add 2 more down here. Now we've done both of these turning that way only because in my eyes there's less damage on this side than there is on this side. So it's almost like it's been hit from this side, which would force these there. However, I'm going to put one down here jutting out that way and one down here jutting down there. Maybe? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So one to go in front view, Shift D to duplicate. I'm going to put it there. Go into Z, move it over. Needs it about in line with him. That'll do perfect. Is it the same height? Ish. That'll do. So now I want you to extrude out. I'm gonna go into there. I'm gonna have you jutting out at this strange angle, and the angle that's coming out here is far too sharp, making it thin. Extrude that out. And I want that to come down a bit. And extrude out that way. And then extrude out one more time. It doesn't matter how many times you extrude. This is obviously just completely on the fly. I'm just making this stuff up as I go along, really. It's the best thing about modelling you can do. All I'm doing here is you'll see it was a bit thinner there. This tubing went a bit thin because if you have angles that are a bit too acute, it will go too thin. So all you need to do is just select that loop by Alt right click, and then just when you think you're square on with it, just R to rotate, and just rotate it out till it goes to about the same thickness as the rest of it, and it'll just make it look more even. So put a cap on the end of here, select that, F, to put a face on it. Okay. I'm not 100% happy with these things, to be honest, but let's just roll with it. Okay, so selecting that one, Shift D, bring that down to about there, Z to go into wireframe so I can see where I'm placing it, there, 7 top view to about there, yep, that's fine, Z to go into solid shading, and extrude that thing out. So I want this one jutting out here, and like I said, I'm going to make this one come off at this strange angle. Ah, pointing up. Yeah, I like that, I like that. Pointing up. Oh, hello. Pointing up. Yeah. Yeah, we like that. Oh, you're just messed up. Something's come along and effed up your shizzle. Kind of looks like tentacles. Okay, so yeah, I'm relatively happy with that. Relatively happy. They'll look better when they're textured anyway. Everything always looks better with texture. Watch, ready, textured. See, that bit looks great. Look at that. Wow, rust, cut cement, white. Oh, faces again. just hit all of them, that's fine. Mesh, normals, recalculate outside, thank you very much. Okay. Should we go into UV mapping this bad boy? Probably. Or should I'm going to save that for the texturing tutorial for this one. So in the next tutorial for this, obviously we're going to be texturing this section here. It's going to be a bit of going into GIMP. It's going to be a bit of texturing within Blender, like we did for the bottom corner, using the stencil to sort of project it over. So yeah, we're going to be like doing this bit in, so it's damaged concrete underneath. Obviously there's going to be a bit of rust surrounding these. These are going to be the same rust type as that. So yeah, obviously I need to unwrap it as well. Not that difficult to unwrap this little extra section. That's going to be it for this tutorial, guys. I need to wrap it up. I've been babbling for over 30 minutes now. So if you liked it, hit like. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. If you want to ask me a question, or if you want me to model something different because you're bored of this concrete barrier now, leave me a comment. But yeah, thanks for watching.